World leaders are gathering in France for the G7 summit this weekend, and US President Donald Trump is expected to raise the diplomatic temperature, as Alina Casas reports.
The French holiday resort of Biarritz is in lockdown in the middle of the summer season. The airport has been closed for 5 days, cars are banned in the town centre, and even pedestrians need accreditation. More than 13,000 armed police and soldiers have been deployed to secure the G7 summit. But the hosting French President Emmanuel Macron may find it harder to control what goes on inside the conference rooms.
France has listed a series of priorities that have to do with inequalities and partnership with Africa. And what's interesting in a way is that these are topics that probably do not interest Donald Trump very much. So it was obviously done on purpose to avoid the kind of mixture of theatrics and constructive discussion. The question is whether we can get Donald Trump and the Trump administration sit on the table and discuss these issues at all during the G7 summit.
A number of key issues threaten to hijack the agenda, including Iran, the US trade war with China, and a possible trade spat brewing between the US and France itself after the Trump administration threatened France with tariffs for unilaterally introducing a tax on social media giants. When the G7 finance ministers met outside Paris in July, they agreed to put in place a minimum level of corporate tax across all 7 countries, but they didn't agree on how much. It was tensions over trade that sunk the last G7 summit last June in Ottawa, when Donald Trump pulled his support for a joint communiqué at the last minute. French President Emmanuel Macron is keen to avoid similar embarrassment here by trying to keep controversial topics off the agenda. One thing the French president does want to promote are climate initiatives, taking to Twitter to call on the summit to discuss forest fires in the Amazon. But environmental groups say the G7 has a long way to go.
Jusqu'à présent, l'engagement des États il nous mène vers entre 3 et plus 4 degrés, ce qui serait catastrophique pour une grande partie de l'humanité. Donc on a besoin qu'à cette occasion, les États s'engagent très clairement à réviser à la hausse leurs engagements, la France comprise, puisque pour l'instant on ne sait pas quelle est la position de l'Élysée sur la rehausse de ces engagements. On a besoin qu'elle avance un chiffre, donc un chiffre très clair de réduction des émissions de gaz à effet de serre.
Protesters wanting to push issues like the climate further up the agenda are being kept 20 miles away from the meeting in Hendaye on the Spanish border. But expectations for consensus at the summit itself are so low, France may not try to sign up the 7 leaders to any joint communiqué at all. Alina Casas, CNA, Biarritz, France.